Greetings, this is your girl Isis Wisdom of the Isis Wisdom Show, and tonight we have a very, very special guest. I feel very honored to be able to have this gentleman on the line. I'm sure you guys are pretty familiar with him. You know, he was definitely the voice of consciousness for Public Enemy. His name is Professor Griff. I'm so excited. I mean, he's just such a great guy. I had a chance to listen to some of his lectures, and there was a particular lecture that he did that I really enjoyed where he was talking about occult science and symbolism in the music industry. And so tonight I wanted to bring him here as a special guest on the Isis Wisdom Show so we could talk about those things. Hello, Professor Griff. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right, trying to maintain. What's good?
I'm doing pretty good, brother. Now, for those who are not familiar with who you are, can you just take the time out and explain to my audience, just give us a brief bio, if you will?
Wow, that may take a minute. Brief bio, I don't know. I am my father's son. I am my son's father. I would consider myself a revolutionary, not in the sense of taking up arms to overthrow anybody's government. We were taught that we should overthrow the government in our own minds. A government that has been set up in our minds is not a government that should rule us as individuals or as a people. Are you following me? So I'm not a revolutionary in that sense. Revolution is complete, constructive, conscious, cosmic change, and that's what I represent. So if I was to end this off in this whole introduction of myself, I would basically have to say that I'm God having a human experience called Griff.
That's real. Okay, so...
Wait a minute. That seemed like that didn't sit right with you. Let me explain that. That's a hard pill to swallow. If the scripture says ye are all gods, children of the Most High God, that does not include me? So if the scripture says ye are all gods, children of the Most High God, that includes Professor Griff. If Mary have a song out right now, and it says they talk about the God in me, well, hell, if God is in me, then I'm God having a human experience called Griff. I'm not the God over you or anybody else. I'm the king over my dome. This is my kingdom. Are you following me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I hope that set the record straight.
Yes, it did. Actually, it really did. What I would like to talk to you about tonight is there seems to be a consciousness or an awakening taking place amongst masses of people all over the world. Things that were once hidden to them, things are starting to be revealed to them, so to speak. One of the things that I want to talk to you about is the esoteric or occult symbolism that I see that's really affecting our youth, and I really wanted to focus specifically on that because I wanted to, touch how it actually affects the youth and how the powers that be have been using symbolism for years to communicate amongst each other. So I was wondering if you could give us some insight about what's really going on with the music industry and why is this being done?
Now, that question is a very compound, complex, 3-paragraph ass question. I don't know what you want me to deal with first, and I don't want to be long-winded. That's a lecture right there. What do you want me to talk about?
Well, we got a 2-hour show, so I just want to, I want to.
But my thing is, you don't want to confuse your listeners. You want them to be able to follow me. I just don't want to get on the interview here and just start talking. What would you like for me to deal with first? Because that's very complex and compounded there.
Well, let's talk about what the agenda of the powers that be first. Let's start off there.
Well, first, if you start off there, you have to define who is the powers that be.
Illuminati.
And then if they... Excuse me?
Illuminati.
What is that?
Okay, so the people that are controlling the system, so to speak.
And what system are you talking about?
I'm talking about the system in terms of the media system. I'm talking about, like I said, I'm trying to really focus on the music aspect of it. So I want to talk about, can you explain, what's going on in terms of, for instance, there's been a lot of talk about, you know, the Jay-Z's, the Rihannas, other people in the music industry that just seems to be displaying certain occultic signs in their music. And I was wondering if you could touch or elaborate on that just a little bit.
Well, like I was trying to say a few minutes ago, if you want to talk about the powers that be, first of all, we have to understand who are they. And then when you're talking about the powers that be, it's obvious that the way we use that terminology is the fact that they're already in existence, but they're hidden, but we don't know who they are. And then, for some strange reason, we have to identify what kind of power that these people actually have. Are you following me?
Yes, I'm following you.
So, some people call them by different names. Some call them the Knights of Rome, the Club of Rome. Some people call them the Bilderberg Group. Some people call it the CFR, the Council on Foreign Relations. Some people call it the Trilateral Commission. Some people call it various different names. We've come to know in doing research that a lot of these names and organizations, such as Skull and Bones and other organizations, stem from the fact that they derive from this entity called the Illuminati. The Illuminati are the illuminated ones. The Illuminati, they're called, and what it means is holders of the light. And when you say holders of the light, we have to be able to define what kind of light. Are you following me? So when you talk about signs and symbols, we're talking about sacred symbols. We're talking about sacred symbols that were used for subversive purposes. Now, just to give you some research material, the whole Illuminati story is told on YouTube. Those that are listening right now, get your pen and piece of paper, because I need you to take down this information for this homework assignment. Look up a man by the name of Myron Fagan. Myron. Fagan, Fagan, Myron Fagan. Now, this gentleman told the entire story of the Illuminati, and he actually says the Illuminati is actually the CFR, which is the Council on Foreign Relations in America. Are you following me?
Yeah.
All right, so now we have to understand this particular information, because this is the basis of what all these organizations base their thing on. So Illuminati means holders of the light. Can we see signs and symbols, physical signs and symbols in America of the Illuminati's influence in America? Yes. We could go to New York, and we could go right where Wu-Tang is from, Staten Island, and we could see the Statue of Liberty, right or wrong. The Statue of Liberty is holding a torch. It wasn't put there by Americans. It was put there by the Freemasons from France as a gateway into America. Are you following me?
Yeah. The
Statue of Liberty is holding a torch, holders of the light. When the Olympics comes back around, right? When they interlock those 6, 7, 8 rings that they have representing different nations on the earth, and they have this torch going from country to country, from city to city, uniting the common, the people with the common energy, the demonic energy. Everyone grabs the torch and we run the torch through the particular cities. Holders of the light. That's the Illuminati's influence. Are you following me?
Yeah.
So when you have a child that's young but very smart, we say that child is bright, right or wrong. You have a very bright child, right or wrong. That's the language of the Illuminati. When you see the influence of the bright lights in Hollywood, know and understand that the term Hollywood comes from a holly tree. And it's just the branches in the wood from the holly tree. And the Hollywood, the Medes, these people that practice occult science, these people that practice the black and white magic, all right, were called the Medes, which is a root word to media, mediation. Are you following me?
Mm-hmm.
And media stands for multi-ethnic destruction America, or maniac European devils in action. But if you look at who the Medes are, they practice black and white magic. They use this wood, the holly wood, to cast spells on people. So when you call the media in and they do their reporting, and you see it on Eyewitness News, CBS, and some of these CNN, BBC, they're casting spells. They're going through rituals. So in school, you use the number 2 pencil. Look up on YouTube and find out what the number 2 pencil means and why you only have to take the test with the number 2 pencil. Are you following me? Then in school, they teach you cursive writing with the number 2 pencil, teaching you how to cast spells and curse. So you learn how to spell with the number 2 pencil. Are you following me? So the wood that they use for the magic wands on the Disney Channel and Walt Disney and all these people, Cartoon Network, they use the number 2 pencil as their wands to cast spells in Hollywood. Are you following me? So there's different signs and symbols that are right in front of our faces. I did a lecture entitled Hidden in Plain Sight, and I brought out all of these symbols. One famous symbol in hip-hop now is called the Baphomet. This is a hermaphrodite kind of figure, a goat, which is a male and female goat, that they use. It's actually the goat of Mendes that they use as a sign and symbol that when you throw up this particular sign, you let the people know that are in charge, the Illuminati, the powers that be, as you say, to let you know that you're down with the program. I hope I answered that question, thoroughly for you.
Yeah, you broke it down. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on with our youth right now. Would you say that what's going on with our youth right now is being affected through the television and things of that nature, through the tools that they use and the symbolism that they use? How is it? I mean, would you say that?
Well, mind control is one of the tools that they use. How they get you into the condition to be controlled is by using certain signs and symbols, frequencies, tones, colors, shapes, numbers that they hide subconsciously in the frequency of the music and in the 23rd frame, I believe, on TVs and the movies. Look at the movie-going experience. You go, you pay your money, right? Automatically, you go in, and it's like automatons. We go in and we buy butter, popcorn, and Coke. You're actually buying cocaine, and you're buying this chemical called popcorn. Why do I call it a chemical? That butter is not really butter. But when you put it on the popcorn and you put it in the microwave, it becomes a chemical that lulls your subconscious mind to sleep, inducing you and lulling you to sleep. So by the time you walk into a dark movie theater, you're already prepped. You're laying there, you're damn near dozing off. You're focusing in on a screen in the dark with the surround sound, and they're attacking your subconscious mind with frequencies and images. Go to The Arrivals on YouTube. The Arrivals. A-R-R-I-V-A-L-S. The Arrivals. Go to number 10 and watch it through number 12, and you'll see exactly how they pull this off. When you leave the movie theater, you're almost punch drunk. Are you following me? Mm-hmm. You leave the movie theaters with your breast filled, wanting to be the hero, or wanting to be the damn damsel in distress, wanting to be a corny white girl to fall down in every damn horror flick. Are you following me?
Right.
So we have to understand it. So now to the small screen, they keep the small screen filled with nonsense. Channel Zero, I wrote a song with Public Enemy. Channel Zero is what we call it, which actually amounts to absolutely nothing. I don't care if it's the daytime stories or these unreality shows or MTV Cribs, Pimp My Ride, or whatever. Are you following me?
Right.
Absolutely nonsense. So keeping you fixated on that, they actually plan to do occult science rituals in front of you on the big and the small screen, as you've seen with the VMAs. The VMAs
right.
was nothing but an occult science, blood, human sacrifice ritual. And they pulled it up in front of everybody, dripping blood and everything.
Right.
Are you following me? It was the initiation for the white chick to come into the Illuminati. It's something that, once again, your man Kanye West broke from the script, which he's being punished for now. Are you following me? So we have to understand this particular dynamic, that they use the media. Once again, here we go with the media, putting forth